Okay, and I wear a number of kofiyas. I saw someone says there with kofiyas on. I do wear.
Just echo 2 points. One is you actually collect a lot of data. I don't know whether you've imagined the magnitude of that.
Ask what you can do for your country. We are taking better, and now we can be able to get back to normalcy. We stand at that point in history that today we can turn it.
Everyone, my name, as you have heard, I'm Cosmas Mutava. I'm the chairman, Protective Security Industry Association, one of the associations which was formed in the early 2000 and in the interest of the country. I also sit in the board of KEPSA Security Sector Board, where I can see several members here present, and I want to say thank you for coming to our today's occasion. Ministry officials, KEPSA officials, BBI members present, I can see some are here, CARA members, guests. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you very much for coming to be with us in this lounge of the Town Connect, where we are coming up with an initiative to propel our country to greater heights. When we talk about private security congress, we say that this is a congress of associations, private security associations, who have come together with a common goal of unity, uniting our country, uniting our private security. You know, in security, we say security is a prerogative of the government, but private security operators and providers come together to complement the issues that are supposed to be taken up by the government. This initiative is aimed at bringing us together, having the challenges, tackle the challenges, all of us, and move forward in the same direction. The other day, you had our president who gave us a call for unity so that we can move in one direction. And it is in this context, that's why we came up with a visitor management hub, which we are launching today. Because of this, we need now to move in that direction. A brief introduction on how we came up together. Back in 2002, several security firms came together in a way of uniting and coming together to move in that direction. 2 years later, another association was also formed. The first one was Kenya Private Security Association. Second one was Protective Security Industry Association. And then came so many others, PROSAC, IPA, criminologists, so many of them, KEPSOC, NAPOC, where Mr. Pamba was heading, and so many others. In total, we are saying we have more than 15 associations in the country who are manning over 2,000 private security firms in the country. All these are employing more than 700,000 security guards and the personnel in the sector. And it is in this context that we are saying we need to come up with a hub to manage the issues of visitor management. It is with that we are now gathered together today to propel the hub to greater heights. Just like the United States of America the other day, we are taking a leadership with so many challenges. You heard the president-elect of the United States talk about challenges of COVID-19, challenges of so many other things which they are taking over. The same way we are doing today, and I'm sure we are going to overcome these challenges. Same way we are having COVID-19 pandemic, where we are having unemployment in our country. This unemployment has come up with so many ministries going down. We have Ministry of Tourism, we have aviation industry, we have education industry, and in effect, they are affecting the private security sector. It is for us now to see how to overcome the challenges in this, even if they are not in our own sector. Crime rate has increased, and with this, we are not ruling out even fraud, which is brought by these other sectors. The other thing that we need to think about is embracing technology. Due to these challenges which are coming over, we need to talk about technology. We have been analog for quite some time, and it is this high time we move from analog to digital, such that we are going to have our guards, our employees, our families moving in the right direction, so that we are not going to contaminate our people, contaminate our families, and contaminate our guards. It is important to note that when our country was struck by this pandemic in 2020 March, our private security Congress moved with speed and started liaising with so many ministries, including the Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Health, and we were given essential certificates, essential stickers, essential service providers, where we have been having our guards and our people moving during curfew time. And we want to thank the government of Kenya for coming up with that initiative to support the private security. It's because of this you can see that we are moving in the right direction. I'm calling upon cooperation of every one of you, and more so Town Connect and all the stakeholders, so that we can embrace the technology. We started training our guards on the new normal, the ways to handle our guards, our families, the way to handle our masks, the way to handle sanitizers, and even the thermal guards. You remember somebody has been talking about guards becoming doctors. Everywhere you go, you'll see somebody taking temperatures. These are guards. They were not used to this. But now we have now come up with a training manual for them to be able to come up with that. Of course, we are talking about database where we need to come up with a lot of this information. We also want to thank the government for taking an initiative, and more so in the issue of taxation. Most of our guards are having their minimum wage below 24,000 shillings. And when we sat down with the government, they saw our point and they said anybody earning below 24,000 shillings is exempted from the pay as you earn, which is a plus, and which is a very good initiative by the government to support the private security initiative. I also want to say that we are now used to online training, Zoom, webinar, and this is the right way to go. Let us move in that direction, such that when we move eventually from analog to digital, every one of us will be in that. I don't want to bore you with a lot of information. Today is a launch of our visitor management hub, and I would want to call upon every one of us to get used to the new technology. As we do this, we need to have the guidelines that have been put across by the Ministry of Health and move forward in that direction. I want to say thank you very much and have a lovely day. Thank you.
Is it morning or afternoon? Still morning, eh? First of all, allow me to pass my apologies from my chair, Nick Nesbitt, who was very much willing to be part and parcel of this particular great occasion. We had a very lengthy discussion with him via WhatsApp yesterday. We even tried reaching our vice chair, Madam Rita, who was equally very much willing to make sure that she becomes part of it. But both of them were held because our chair is out of the country. Then Rita had a engagement that she was attending to in the morning. Our CEO could not join us because she lost the dad, so she's in that particular process of burial arrangements. Our deputy CEO also had an engagement, so she could not join us. After all that effort, we were all summoned by the chair and told that you must make sure that you demonstrate that we are well represented. So I was asked to make sure that I lead the team from the Governing Council, and my good friend Victor will be leading the Secretariat. And equally with me was my vice chair, that is Judy Wambogo, who has just stepped out a bit. We are normally very sensitive when it comes to making sure that we all have equal voice, so you'll forgive me, because each and every speaker has been appreciating, ladies and gentlemen, and there is no lady who has stood here to give a voice. So I think that's a challenge to all of us, apart from only recognizing their presence. And I'm requesting the SG to make sure that you give one of them a chance, because they're normally the agents of change. As a student of leadership, I can tell you for free, if you want to make sure that you have any change in any process, always make sure that you bring ladies forward. Based on that, let me also take this opportunity to thank my good friend Delano. Actually, Delano, the chairman of, I understand is the president, and we also had a discussion whether to use the title president or not. My good friend Enoch, you have made my work very easy, because nowadays I don't have to list all the associations. I can only say Security Congress Association, which has always been the dream of the sector board for so many years at the end of the day. And I'm very happy about it that Town Connect is now taking advantage of that particular harmony and cohesiveness to also do a historical thing within this particular sector. I was cracking some joke with my sisters there, and they were telling me I've become a Museveni in this particular sector. That each and every time we talk about private security, then the name Sarah normally crops in at the end of the day. But all that I'm praying is that let this one be one of the milestones that we'll achieve as I exit the scene, because I'm also retiring very soon from this particular responsibility. But I'm very happy because I have a very able team, the likes of Akina Mutava, Judy, my second vice chair, that is Steve Barry, and the entire KEPSA membership at the end of the day. What moved me most, alongside the good thing that Eric and Summit are doing, is that you are coming at a time when the sector has decided to come together. You are coming at a time when the conversation at the national level is also saying that the sector should be more professionalized. What I don't know is whether we are professionalized, but there's always room for improvement. I think that's the illusion that is being advocated in that particular document at the end of the day. So this particular platform creates a very good opportunity for all of us to make sure that at least we make a difference to this society. I know we are coming from a very analogous sector. Security has always been very rigid when it comes to changing. But I'm happy that things are taking shape. And thanks for the Congress leaders at the end of the day. I know at one time you had to make very hard decisions, which I all agree and appreciate that it's bearing fruits at the end of the day. Unity is normally the cause of success for us to make a difference. My sister, Monica, and Grace and the rest, the concept that you brought us, the wise thing, is the way to go. Please make sure that you occupy your space. As I was cracking a joke with you, is that men normally go to school to learn leadership behaviors. Ladies, by default, 70% of those behaviors, they have them. So the only one which they normally lack is the courage. Sasa wako na 70%, na ingine bado na whatever. That is why, as KEPSA, we have been able to make a lot of changes, because our leadership is very proactive in terms of making sure that we do what? We make a difference at the end of the day. So it'll allow me, before I close, to just give my colleague Victor to assure you that actually, as KEPSA, we are on top of things. We are supporting all the good innovations which are coming in. Anything that will come on our way in terms of supporting any change within the society, you'll always count on us as Kenya Private Sector Alliance. Najua watu wengi wanajuanga tu ni KEPSA, but ukiuliza in full what it means, saa zingine inakuanga ni kizungumkuti at the end of the day. So Victor, please come and also give your remarks.
I want to thank each of you for actually finding time to come over. It has been tough for us to be able to call for any training, to call for any such a forum. But I want to thank each of you for finding time to come over for after a very short notice. As a Congress, we want to bring into attention that the way things are going, there is need for us to be able to move in one direction. There's no compromise on this, and I'm not begging anybody on this. You saw what happened towards the end of last year, towards the other year. You know, KSI tries to push these things on their own, PROSAC on their own, and at the end of the day, we reach somewhere where you find now everybody's playing his own game. And we've sat together as leaders of the associations. We said, no, I think there comes a time when security industry is more important than any other person. And we need to move together in one direction. So without wasting time, we came up with a Security Congress, and I'll just brief you on the leadership. We picked Mr. Mutava Cosmas, who is with us. He's just coming to speak to us in the, after me. For those who don't know Mr. Mutava, just stand up, people, to see you. Remove the mask so that people can see you properly. Yes, that is Mr. Mutava. He's the chairman for Private Security Industry Association. And we honor you as our president. The title we've given him is the president for the Congress. Have a seat. I happen to be elected as the first co-chair. My name's Enoch. I think Delano has told you who I am and my background. The second co-chair is Mr. Kibine Kiblimo. Kiblimo, you are with us. I've just seen you. Kiblimo, where are you? I think he's not with us, but I think he'll be joining us. And of course, Mr. Delano was picked as the Secretary General. Just make sure that he coordinates all that we are doing. You know Mr. Delano. The first Vice Chair is Miss Annette Amede. Where is Madam Annette? Is she with us? She has traveled. She works for Seneca East Africa. Second Vice Chair is Mr. Peter Pamba, the late, who you've been informed about. He passed on. I have a very touching history about Mr. Pamba. Mr. Pamba retired from the police some few months ago, and he came over to us and asked us, now I'm joining the private sector. Guys, can you give me the roadmap of what happens? You know, the other side we are used to yes sir, no sir, what happens? So we actually took him and told him, outside you have to be very cautious on what you do. You know, to build up a clientele, you know, you really have to make sure that you behave yourself in a manner that will actually help you keep friends, because friends are the ones who build you outside. Hakuna shortcut. You have friends, you have business. You have no friends, you have no business. So we had a very good chat with him, and he had already moved on well. He had joined an organization that he was doing very well in terms of capacity building. And I think he started being sick, and then he passed on Friday. It was very shocking to me, to everybody in the industry, and may his soul rest in peace. I've just received an SMS from the team that is organizing, planning his send-off. One thing that has really helped us as an association, or at least as a Congress, is how we come together when one of us goes down. I want to thank each and every one of you. Whenever Monica sends out communication to all the associations, we've actually come out strong. In fact, I had somebody who really hates us saying that these guys are like an association, it's like, there's like a movement, it's like ODM. These guys, they really attack something like as if it's peace. Please, as we send off our friend Mr. Pamba, Monica will be releasing out communication. Let's try to help the family be able to offset the bill. The bill is around 1.5 at Karen Hospital. And of course, other things will follow. He will be buried, I think the other weekend. We shall communicate on the burial. Those who are ready to go and say, I think we have no problem with that. We can be able to organize that. So having said that, I just want to say that there's the importance for us to be able to move together. We are organizing so many events next year, including the Expo, just to make sure that we are able to help companies like Town Connect to be able to showcase their products locally. There are so many companies locally that very good products, but they are not able to meet or go out and be able to show clients what they have. We have an expo that's coming up in August. Please, I'm begging you and I'm asking you, buy Kenya, brand Kenya. Let's just promote products that are around here, so that at the end of the day, we are able to be proud of our own knowledge. Than getting people from outside, then we are not able to achieve what we want to achieve. So having said that, it's my honor and privilege to welcome Mr. Mutava to be able to come and give a few remarks. Then from there, we move on with the program. Mr. Mutava, welcome.
But most importantly, I'd like also to thank the team that is in the background. Okay. I think I'm loud enough. So it's fine. I hope okay. Whatever happens, I think I'll be loud enough. So I was saying I like to thank the team, my team that is in the background, that they are not here, doing various roles and playing various functions that make Town Connect what it is, and it has brought us to this day. So I like to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for the time you've spent, and we are poised for greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, we are seated here today to be counted as leaders in our various industries who decided to rise up at the moment of great strife and in a pandemic to offer a solution that will change the course of the current pandemic we are nestled in. It is said that the greatest riders are not only great at the straights, basically riding on a straight line, but are phenomenal at the corners. That is what marks the difference between a rider and a great rider, because at the corners is when they accelerate and take the corner and are able to beat their opponents. That is what makes a great winner. So we as leaders of our various companies and institutions, we are, the country is at a corner. The world is at a corner. What do we need to do as Kenyans that we are able to navigate this corner and come out of it and be beacons of hope and examples for others to follow? In Kenya, we are good at fasts and greats. But to mention but a few, we have Eliud Kipchoge, who broke the 2-hour, doing the marathon under 2 hours. We have M-Pesa, which is leading which has basically changed the life in terms of mobile money. We have the likes of Lupita Nyong'o, who have taken Hollywood by storm. We have the Kenya Sevens rugby team, who won the Singapore leg of the IRB Sevens. We have the late Professor Wangari Maathai, the first Nobel laureate in 2004, and many others. you know them. Right now, this is the time to lead. We need to stand up and be counted. As John F. Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. We at Town Connect have risen up to the clarion call by the President of the Republic of Kenya and other leaders of the world to pave the way, to show them how we can make this country better and how we can be able to get back to normalcy. We stand at that point in history that today we can turn it. Every success story is a journey of sacrifice of time, energy, and money. We believe in the UNDP SDG Goal 17, which is Partnership for Goals. And that's why today we are seated here with members of the Private Security Congress to launch Hodi Hodi. Hodi Hodi is a homegrown solution from Town Connect. And with this partnership, we hope to solve the challenges of modern security and increase the efficiency of our guards. During these COVID times, our solution marks the way, or the new normal, that guards no longer need to use the old book and biro to get you inside facility, estate, apartment. Everything is digitized, touchless. We are ensuring the security of the guards, we are ensuring the security of the residents, and that is the way forward. When we did, as we were building this solution with Private Security Congress, and we did various focus groups, I think one of the greatest things one of the guards told us is kindly make sure there's a radio on the app. So we took it as in jest, but yes, we have ways and means of trying to make sure that the user, and we will make sure that the users enjoy the service, but will not put the radio. As indicated by Sumit, our tech head in Kenya, our enrollment in terms of being able to deploy a solution is within 15 to 30 minutes of a client coming on board. In cases where we need to take a physical phone to the client, maybe that would take a bit longer depending on where the location of the client is. But if the client has a phone, everything can be set up within 30 minutes and you have a digitized society. Due to COVID, we welcome partnerships with government on deployment of track and trace, asymptomatic capture, and COVID screening, which will help manage the pandemic. We hope that these partnerships with government, with Private Security Congress, will take us back to the normalcy and economic recovery. On direct impact of our solution to the economy is we will end up employing quite a number of Kenyans directly and indirectly. Other facets of our solution are digital shops and assisting skilled artisans to be professional in the manner in which they go to homes, and we are able now to connect them to the market, which is basically the home owners. On the corporate front, we provide companies with systems that help them digitize their processes and ensure easy interaction with the public. We are the pioneers in this field of mobile app solution, and we will continue to add features to benefit companies and general public in future. We will listen to you as users, and we will keep on improving and making sure we are better each and every time.